I am so excited for our next guest, Catherine Clift, and Let Go and Abundance and Miracles Will Flow. Catherine is a transformational wealth, success, and mindset coach, motivational speaker, and creative writer who did her first walk the talk in June 2019. She helps her clients uncover the hidden programming that stops them from having the money, success, and lifestyle they try so hard to achieve. Take it away, Catherine.
Well, today I want to share with you a very simple and yet a very powerful tool that I use in my coaching called the Sedona Method, also known as letting go and releasing, which has completely transformed my life. And in fact, the more you let go, the happier and happier you become, and abundance and miracles just flow into your life. But why I want to talk to you today is I want to help you because I want you to have this tool to help you to cope with what's happening in the world right now. The fear around the pandemic, the economy, the upcoming election, just the fear about the future in general. This is such a powerful tool to help you let go of fear. But it does so much more than that. And let me just give you some examples of how it's worked in my life. By letting go, I was given a horse right out of the blue, free of charge. I was able to let go of flu symptoms in as little as 15 minutes. And I did something last year that most people would never do. I beat the IRS, and I saved myself a ton of money. Now, these are just some simple examples of how it's worked in my life, but it also helped me let go of two things that I didn't think I could possibly let go of. My marriage of 23 years, which was unsupportive and emotionally abusive, and my job of 25 years that became so stressful that I developed shingles in the last year that I was there. Now, these were two things that I thought I couldn't possibly let go of. They were my security blankets. I needed them to survive, or so I thought. But the more I held on, the more miserable and unhappy I became, until I finally took the leap of faith and I let go. And an amazing thing happened. By letting go of my marriage, I discovered I had enough money to live on for the rest of my life. Surprise! And by letting go of my job, I discovered my passion, life coaching, where I can help others believe in themselves, reach their potential, and live their dream life. It is so rewarding. But today, I want to basically share with you what I'm using it for as an ongoing basis. And it has to do with a medical condition that I was diagnosed with when I was 35. And it's such a condition that's altered my image so much that I have a hard time loving myself and accepting myself. And it's called alopecia areata. Alopecia areata, you might say? For those of you who don't know, it's an autoimmune disease where the white blood cells attack the hair follicle and cause it to go dormant. So the hair falls out. It starts out very slowly with little bald patches that sort of connect and spread, and the hair falls out and it grows back in and it falls out in other places, and it goes through cycles until by the time I was 50, I was completely bald. Now, for someone who has struggled most of their life to fit in and feel normal, this was a cruel blow. I looked like somebody who had just walked out of a concentration camp. I looked and I felt like a victim. And I hated anybody who thought I was on chemo. I needed to accept myself. So I turned to the one person that I thought would surely accept me, my own mother. Did she accept me? She took one look at me and said, "Oh, for God's sake, Catherine, get a wig." Well, this was devastating. Here I am trying to accept myself, and my own mother can't accept me? This was painful. This really hurt. So I got some wigs, and I hated them because they didn't fit right. They were scratchy, they were hot, and they fell off at the wrong time. I wanted to accept me for me, but I didn't know how. but by letting go, I found the answer. At that time, I was attending some retreats for the release technique, where we did a certain exercise called the mirror exercise, where you're supposed to look in the mirror and love yourself over and over again. Well, this was particularly challenging for me because every time I looked at myself, I saw this god-ugly image looking back at me that I didn't even recognize as me. How could I love that? But I continued to let go, and something amazing happened. It didn't happen overnight, but slowly I started to change. I became more confident, more courageous, more accepting of myself. And then in January of 2019, I made a bold decision that I was going to appear in public without the wigs. And then in March of that year, I attended the advanced retreat for the Sedona Method, where we went deeper than we had ever gone before. And it gave me the courage to stand up in front of the group, take off my hat, and declare, "Bald is beautiful!" And I got a standing ovation. So you see, letting go has transformed my life. It's taken me from a very insecure individual with a victim mentality to somebody who is very courageous, very confident, who knows who she is and where she's going, and I have a message for the world. For those of you who have a hard time loving and accepting yourself, whether you can't stand your hair, you can't stand the way you look, you're too fat, you're too thin, whatever it is, I just want to say, let go and love yourself. As I want to say one more time, bald is beautiful! So I want to give you an example of exactly how letting go is so that you can use it in your life. So first of all, I'm going to do an analogy. I want you to pick up a pen and I want you to hold it in your hand. And I want you to squeeze it as tightly as you possibly can. And you're going to notice two things. First of all, the more you squeeze it, the more uncomfortable it feels. And also, the more familiar it feels. And this is like our feelings. Now I want you to open your hand and roll the pen around in your hand. Notice the pen is not attached to your hand. The pen represents your feelings, your hand represents your consciousness. Now I want you to grasp the pen again, turn it over, open your hand and drop it. That's how easy letting go is. But we have a tendency to identify with our feelings. We don't say, I feel sad or I am angry. We don't say I feel sad and I feel angry. We say I am sad and I am angry. And by identifying like that, we give them more power. But now I want to actually give you the demonstration of letting go. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of something that bothers you, either a person or a situation or any fear that you have right now, and I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most intense and 1 being the least intense. And I want you to put your hand over your heart because you basically let go from the neck down. Your mind will try to help, but it will only get in the way. And as you get in touch with that feeling, I want you to welcome that feeling. Just allow it to be there. And if you can't welcome it and you can't allow it, then just notice it, because it's actually the same thing. And by actually noticing that feeling, you start the letting go process. So now I'm going to ask you 3 very simple questions, and don't try to overthink it. The first question is, could you let that feeling go? Just could you? Are you capable, just like you dropped the pen? Yes or no? Either answer is acceptable. Believe it or not, you can say no and still let go. Just be honest with yourself. Next question, would you let it go? Yes or no? And finally, when? Do you want to hold on or do you want to let go and be free? Your decision. Releasing or letting go is just a decision. Now I want you to rate that feeling again on a scale of 1 to 10. And notice if your number dropped. Even if it drops by 1 point, you've still let go. You may have to do a couple more rounds, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And if you have trouble letting go, ask yourself this question. Would I rather hold on and suffer, or would I rather let go and be free? Again, it's your decision. And thank you so much. I want to give this to you because I want you to have this tool. I hope it makes a difference in your life like it's made a difference in mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. I really appreciate the chance to hear your talk live. It's been such a wonderful experience. For all of us at home, you can find Catherine at removemoneyblocks.com or on our market partner page, and you can find a special offer from Catherine there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.